Video is going to look at new type of holidays, particularly holiday camps. So in a moment you're going to need to pause the video, do yourself a date, title and task. The title is New Types of Holiday, and your starter is a nice and easy one. How does technology impact how far we can travel? Don't overthink this one, just give it a go. So pause the video, date, title and task. Today we're going to need to know a little bit about the old British currency. So on the next slide there's going to be some information that you're going to need to use to fill in the blanks. I'm sure you've worked that out already. So give yourself a little subtitle, British currency, and get down those four sentences and be prepared to fill in the answers. Pounds, shillings and pence were the basic currency of Britain throughout the period covered by the proceedings, having a consistent relationship of 12 pence to the shilling and 20 shillings to the pound. Values are generally expressed as pound, shilling and pence, or else L shillings and pence, as in £12, 10 shillings and 6 pence, or £12, 10 shillings and 6 pence. The pound sign stands for libra, a pound weight in Latin. The S is an abbreviation for shilling in English, and the D stands for denarius or denarii, which is a Roman coin. You will also find references to guineas with a value of 21 shillings, but that value could change depending on the quality of the coinage in use. Marks, which are 13 shillings and 4 pence. Nobles, 6 shillings and 8 pence. Crowns, 5 shillings. Half crowns, 2 shillings and 6 pence, and coins worth 6 pence, 3 pence, 2 pence, half pence, and a farthing, which is a quarter of a penny. I bet you're glad we have a lot easier currency to understand nowadays. 5, 2, 1 and half guinea coins were made of gold and were introduced after the recoinage of 1696. Crowns, half crowns, 6 pence and 3 pence coins were all silver, as were all pennies, and 2 pence pieces until the introduction of machine-milled 1 and 2 pence copper coins in 1797. The last silver English penny was minted in 1820. Farthings and halfpence were made from copper. During the 18th century, a range of foreign currency was also in circulation, including pieces of 8, ducats, and dollars. Some of these answers then to make sure we are all on track. So today we use pounds and pence as our currency. A pound is similar to a dollar and a pence is similar to a cent in America. But in Britain, people used to use shillings, pounds and pence. And there are 12 pence to the shilling and 20 shillings to the pound. So tick those that you've got correct and correct any that need correcting. So now we're going to have a look at how holiday camps are created. And we're also going to go into a bit of detail as well about national parks. So I'm going to read it to you. You might want to pay particular attention to some of my explanations. But to start you off, I would suggest just pausing the video and noting down those 12 sentences. Camping became popular in the late 19th century, and after the First World War, pioneer camps opened, offering basic accommodation and a hands-on approach. So with pioneer camps, it's probably what you're thinking, like old school camping, so canvas tents, open fire, no toilets and no showers. Life under canvas increased in popularity in the interwar period, that means between World War I and World War II. In line with the trend towards healthy outdoor living. Because after a war, they realised, us Brits, we're not particularly healthy, so there was a massive encouragement to go and spend more time outside. Gradually, tents became replaced with chalets, which are like purpose-built buildings, and communal or shared buildings for eating and entertainment, and the holiday camp was born. The name that is most associated with holiday camps is Butlins, but you might have also heard of things like Haven as well. Billy Butlin opened his first camp in Skegness in 1936. Now, Skegness is up north, it's right by the sea, and it's got its own train station. So you can imagine why Skegness was the perfect place to open a holiday camp, because it had the sea and easy transport access. And 2 years later, with the passing of the Holidays with Pay Act, he coined the phrase, a week's holiday for a week's pay. Now, what that meant is that people weren't paying huge amounts of money for a holiday. It's actually quite cheap. And it also had another phrase, holidays with pay, holidays with play. So a week's holiday between June and September cost roughly £12, 12 shillings and 6 pence for an adult, roughly £133 today, and £1, 6 shillings and 3 pence for a child, or £66.50 today. So to put that into context, if you wanted to go and spend a week at Butlins now in this summer, it's probably going to cost you for a family of four around £500, £600, £700. So it's significantly cheaper back then. On offer were family chalets, so family living quarters, shops, hairdressing studios, swimming pools, fun fairs, entertainment shows, ballroom dancing, think Strictly, childcare services, and a range of sporting activities. Campers were entertained by redcoats. They're the workers, and you've guessed it, they wore red coats. They hosted a range of competitions, from talent and beauty contests, glamorous grannies, and knobbly knees, which is literally who has the boniest kneecaps. So, yeah. Rain or shine, it's always fine at Butlins was a well-used slogan at the time. All of this was lampooned in the hit television comedy series Hi-de-Hi, co-written by Jimmy Perry, a former redcoat in the 1940s. By the mid-1960s, there were camps at 9 locations, including Minehead, Filey, and Bognor Regis. Since opening, an estimated 70 million Britons have holidayed there, and in 2015, 1 million visitors earned the company revenue of £214 million. In 1936, it was about chalets and canteen dining, but today it's about high-class hotels, spas, fine wines, and celebrity chefs. In the 1930s, groups of conservationists, so people who want to look after the countryside, began lobbying or campaigning the government to pass measures to allow access to the countryside. After the Second World War, the new Labour government, as part of its post-war recovery programme, prepared for national park legislation. So a national park is a protected area that's really pretty. And in 1951, the Peak District became the first national park, followed by the Lake District, Snowdonia, Dartmoor, the Pembrokeshire Coast, the North York Moors, Yorkshire Dales, Exmoor, Northumberland, and the Brecon Beacons by the end of the 1950s, and latterly by the South Downs, Broads, and the New Forest. Now, the parks promote rural tourism. That just means spending your holiday in nature, through activities such as hiking, pony trekking, and canoeing. It is estimated that 110 million people visit national parks every year, helping to boost the national economy. So once more, we will check we're all on the same page with our questions. So pioneer camps are outdoor camps with tents and open fires. People wanted to be outside after World War I because it's healthier, and they realised they needed healthy people to improve the country. It is Billy Butlin that creates Butlins, and the first Butlins holiday camp is opened in Skegness in 1936. A holiday costs £12, 12 shillings and 6 pence for an adult, and £1, 6 shillings and 3 pence for a child. That's cheap. Redcoats entertain guests with talent shows, glamorous granny competitions, and knobbly knee contests. Roughly 1 million people visited Butlins in 2015. Nowadays, in holiday camp, we want fancy restaurants, wine tasting, spas, and celebrity chefs. The first national park is the Peak District. And in national parks, you can go hiking, canoeing, and horse trekking. And roughly about 110 million people go to national parks every year. So pause the video, tick the ones you got correct, and correct any that need correcting. Right then, so we're going to have a go at a practice question that you guys are going to type into the chat box for us so we can check that you're all paying attention. What similarities and differences are there among the holiday camps featured? Now, in a real practice question, you'd be given 3 pictures from 3 historical eras, so we're kind of practicing the skill of looking for similarity and difference rather than the actual layout of the question. So you really need to think about what is the same and what is different. Now, don't go for obvious, boring answers that any bloke at ASDA can tell you. Like, if I hear one more student turn around and say, "The one picture's in black and white and the other's in colour," like, no. Like, you need proper historical evidence. And you need to be able to back it up with facts. So you'll notice there's lots of swimming pools. You need to be able to explain why. You might notice differences in where people sleep. You're going to need to explain why. You might notice differences in where they eat. You might need to explain why. So all this is, it's nice and straightforward, is 4 sentences. So one similarity I can see is, and then include your own knowledge. One difference I can see is, and then include your own knowledge again. I need to type that directly into the chat box, please. Okay, so as a little bit of light relief and to make sure we are consolidating our knowledge about why Butlins was popular, you now need to create a holiday advert for a popular new holiday camp between 1930 and 1950. And on this slide, there are also various posters for Butlins to help you out, so you can kind of see the style of it. Don't worry, I'm not expecting your artwork to be this good. They were paid, and we're not paying you to do this. Your advert should be coloured. Explain the features of the holiday camp. So is there a swimming pool? Is there live music? Is there a children's club? The price for a week, and I'm sure you can make sure that's accurate, and how to get there. I would recommend maybe doing this half an A4 bit of paper. You probably wouldn't need the whole one unless you particularly want to. Once you've done that, you need to email it to us for our registers, even if it is just a picture. So pause the video and complete this task. And then, as always, to end the session, there will be a show my homework quiz. You need to do it 3 times, and I'm sure you already know that by now. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to doing another one soon. Bye!